So, we're talking today with New Jersey-based singer-songwriter John Sheehan, who's been playing with the Empirical Labs Mike-e for the last few weeks. And we just wanted to ask him some questions about how it affected his performance and how he felt about using it. What do you think, John?
I could get a hot sound from it, a punchy vocal sound, and a guitar sound that's has a lot of separation and brings out the different frequencies and makes it actually sound, because I finger pick, it brings out the finger picking in a really unique way, I think. Finger picking has that dimensional sound anyway, because you're running a bass line and then you're picking up treble parts that are counterpoint to it. What the Mike-e does is do that separation, and it actually sounds more like there's a second guy playing with me, you know, and that's a great advantage to anyone that's playing solo. You always want to, you know, oh, you're a one-man band. But no, I'm one guy, that's all.
It's not brittle sounding, but it is very clear. So Dave has achieved something that a lot of people have been aiming for quite a long time, is to find something that's very transparent without sounding sterile. Really, ultimately, for somebody who needs an all-purpose mic preamp, this thing just does everything.
It's hard to get a warm sound straight through a mixer. It's a little bit of a rough sound. It's kind of, this warms up things without losing volume, and also, being very close to speakers like I am, I can soften up the sound, and I can be right on top of my speakers, and I don't get feedback if I try getting some gain any other way. I mean, there's a lot of range on this. Those digital buttons are great too. I think they're going to be much steadier, I mean much more long lasting. They're not going to get crackly and stuff like pots. You don't have to blow these things out.
The sellability of the digital controls on it make it just an easy setup for it. If you have a recurring client, or if it's your item and you know it's your gear and you're going to a show like John is, you can have settings for certain songs and achieve them very quickly with the digital controls.
Yeah, you use these sheets. You can just make up your little sheets just so that you're happy with certain. I mean, if you work out your sounds and then you remember at the end of the night, then you can put like what club you were using at.
The coarse gain adjustment is in 5 dB steps, and there's two buttons that allow you to choose the gain, up or down. So we'll get a nice gain. How does that look, Ben?
That looks very good.
Very good. The next section is the phase and the roll-off. We're keeping it in phase, but we have a little roll-off right now. So using the 80 hertz roll-off, and 48 volts is not on, but of course the mic pre does come with it. So after the mic preamp and after the fan and power, the next section you have is the comp sat section. There's a dial here, a pot here that allows you to turn up the saturation. And you can see as I turn it up, the warm light begins to flicker, and if I kept going, the toasty light would begin to flicker. That's giving you your kind of analog tape transformery saturation. For a guitar like this, I'll probably stay just touching the warmth a little bit. And then the next section after that is what's called the comp mode, and there's a few settings in here. One is for the link compressors. If there's 2 Mike-es and you want to link the compressors, you can do that. But what I'm interested in right now is high frequency emphasis. And although this guitar is fairly warm, the high frequency emphasis does tame a buildup of high frequencies very well and very eloquently. It doesn't get in the way so much, and it doesn't make things sound dull. It just tames excessive buildup of high frequencies. So for something like cymbals, overhead cymbals, or direct spot mics on cymbals, like a hi-hat mic, fantastic thing, because you can just literally take off some of the oversaturated high end that you can get. So the same concept applies for finger picking, but I think we'll be able to hear the dynamics a little more and bring out some of the actual notes. So I'm gonna move the attack time. Sorry, I'm gonna move the ratio up to a 4:1. I'm gonna move the attack time just a little bit slower for now, and I'm gonna keep the release pretty fast. And you can see that I'm using a lot of compression right now. I'm gonna back down a little bit on the warmth, so it just touches the warmth light, because I don't want to overly squeeze the finger picking. Finger picking has a lot of dynamics and it's very delicate, and typically you don't want to touch too hard, but a lot of times some of the lower notes can get lost. So I'm going to bring those up and keep it with a little warmth, keep it from getting squeaky, too trebly. And now that we've kind of, I'm going to raise the ratio because I really want to hit this hard for you guys. And now you can hear I've added a lot of attack to the signal compared to where it was when we started. And now I can, with the ability to mix in the dry signal again, we can make this, keep the attack and have it still sound very, very natural. And as you can see, I'm taking off 8 to 10 dB of compression off the top of this guitar on a finger-picked guitar, and yet it still sounds very natural. One of the huge benefits of the Mike-E.